In today's video, I'm gonna take you through all the tools you're gonna need for detailing season. Stick around. Welcome back, guys. This is part 2 spring detailing series. If you haven't seen my other video, I will link it below. I talk about all the chemicals you'll need for your detailing season. Now in today's video, we're gonna talk about all the tools that you're gonna need to help you through that process, right? So let's dive into the video, guys. We'll pick it up back kind of where we started. We'll talk about like wheel washing. So I like to have a really good wheel mitt. This is the Rad Company wheel mitt. You can put your whole hand in it. You can have your thumb outside of it. This is really good to get in the nooks and crannies. So having some wheel tools are really, really essential here. I like a wheel brush. This is the Easy Detail brush. Right? And they actually have 2 sizes, so if you do have some really aggressive calipers or something, you can get in there. This will get you in the barrels and get everything clean. This is a great option to have on the cart. Next up is a wheel face brush. This is from Detail Factory. These are soft-ish. I still don't trust these on like mirror black wheels. I do not use this, but on aluminum or alloy wheels, all day. Go to town with this. I don't think it's gonna scratch anything. So this is a wheel face brush. Another option in the lineup is obviously for tires. This is the Detail Factory tire brush. Not super aggressive bristles, so this is really good. If you don't necessarily want to strip it, or if you're going to use a more aggressive cleaner, it just glides really easy over the wheels. This is the Detail Factory. This is the brush for the wheel wells or just engine bay. It's just really versatile. It's really long. Again, really good product to have on deck. And then if you want something a little less aggressive, this is also the Detail Factory brush. This is just a microfiber. This is so a little bit softer if you've got more delicate wheels. So that's a killer one there. Some people use smaller detailing brushes. This is the Detail Factory again, super soft makeup brush. This can get you around. It doesn't really do that much cleaning, but it's for really delicate surfaces. This is also Detail Factory black boar's hair brush. This is good to get in your lug nuts, just to make sure all that buildup doesn't stick around. So these, you can do it. You can foam on wheels. You can use a foam cannon, or you can use something like this. This is the IK pump up foamer. They have ones with a Schrader valve. They're coming out with an e-foamer too. So you can kind of spray that around and keep your wheel cleaners in here. So this is a great tool to have on deck. Okay guys, we're gonna get into washing the car, right? Like what do you need to wash the car? Like do you need a pressure washer? Do you need a foam cannon? The answer is yes. You need it all, right? But I realize not everyone can have a pressure washer. So that is my pressure washer. That's the Krenzla. I have this is the OG hose here. I also have a CR spotless system. So this is a water deionizer. This is my pressure washer gun. This is the OG spec Mosmatic gun. I keep that up here. And then I have all my different foam cannons. You don't have to be a crazy person like me and have 4. One foam cannon will do you well. But if you have a pressure washer, using a foam cannon is really great. This is the Quiver, AKA the MJJC V2 Pro. I like it because it matches the colors of my logo, but really any product will do. Now, if you're like, Ryan, I don't have all this crap. I don't even want to go buy a Ryobi for $100. That's fine too. There are some really cool kits out there. This one specifically is from the Rad Company, but you can find a ton on Amazon. This is a foam gun kit. This hooks up to your garden hose, and that's really all you need, right? You fill it with soap, fill it with water, hook it up to your garden hose, spray it on. It's not gonna be a big foam party, but it'll get it on the surface. And this also actually comes with a drying towel and I believe a chenille wash mitt. So again, you don't have to have this crazy setup to have fun or do detailing, right? Again, if you do want the foam cannon, you do want that full experience, you can go like, again, $99 Ryobi pressure washer, works absolutely fine. Get a cheap hose. It's gonna be a pain in the butt for you, but you're still gonna be able to detail your car. So you absolutely do not need this full get up. Another great tool to have is like a pumping foam or a pump up like sprayer. I like this. This is the Merilux. I think this is the, this is the 2000. You can dilute products in here and pre-spray the car really, really well. So I like this one. This would be my go-to pump up sprayer there. Get a really high quality wash media, super safe, like soft ones. This is the purest, like soft wash media. This is really good. This is the Microfiber Madness Incredipad. This one's really soft as well. Just invest in high quality stuff. You can use chenille if you like that. You can get wash gloves if you want, or mitts. So that works well. High quality microfiber towels are super important. This is the Gauntlet from the Rad Company. This for me is really nice because it's really soft. It does a really good job and it doesn't feel like it's gonna mar the paint. And then for my last step protection here, I usually use, this is the Rad Company FTW. This is one of my favorite towels. They make it in orange, pink, gray. and I think blue as well. So these are really good quality decon. Another thing you're gonna need is a clay block or a clay towel, whatever your preference is, or a clay mitt. You can use this. This is less aggressive. If you have some really aggressive overspray or just some really embedded contamination, you will wanna go to an actual clay bar. But just know if you're gonna use a clay bar, you're likely gonna have to polish after, just because it can introduce some micro marring. So that's why I like to start with the least aggressive and see if this will kind of get it off the surface. And you can hear as you're doing it on the paint, you'll hear it's like really rough, and then what it'll do is it'll calm down and it'll just sound smooth. You wanna use this with a really good lubrication. The glass, I think it's essential to have one of these. This is the Stoner's Reacher tool. This can help kind of get you into the glass. Kind of a slept on tool. Really great there. All right, guys, we're gonna get into, next, you just need really good spray bottles, right? There's a million. You can get HDX Home Depot spray bottles if you want. $2 a bottle, no big deal. You can get $20 bottles. You can get IKs, whatever you like. I like the Press-All bottles, personally, and I know the new tips and series are coming out from Obsessed Garage. I like these because they have this dual spray. See that? I let go, and a dual spray comes out. I really like that, and that's why I like this in my business, because while this is a glass cleaner, if I can get around the car, if I'm spraying with iron remover or whatever, I can spray this much faster and I get less fatigue because it puts out more product. So I'm a fan of the Press-All bottles. Next up, we're gonna get into paint correction, guys. What do you need for paint correction? Obviously, you need you need a polisher, right? This is the new Flex DA. This is the 15 millimeter. I got rid of my Rupes. I got rid of the HLR 15. I traded it in, they repaired it and sent it back to me, and it would still stall a lot. Even under, even with just a little bit of pressure, any sort of curve, it's stalled. I got the Flex. Flex DA has been doing me really good. I've got to use it so far on one actual detail in a car. It's pretty solid. If you want to have some fun, this is the Flex Rotary. I think rotaries are okay for beginners. Just get a test hood and try that out. So those are those polishers. I also have a PXE80, which is like the 3-inch polisher. I like that one because you can change it into like 1 or 3-inch or 2-inch sizes. So it's really versatile. It's not the strongest polisher on the market for a 3-inch. We'll talk about pads. We could talk for pads for 16 hours. I just like to have a different variety, right? Because you can also use like one compound or polish and then achieve different cuts based on the pad that you're using, right? So starting off from least aggressive, actually I'll start off with like most aggressive. So this is like the Eurofiber. This is the black and white dual fiber, like microfiber pad. This is actually gonna cut like the most aggressively for you. Next up from Buff and Shine, this is their maroon edge guard pad. This is also a really good aggressive-ish medium cut pad. Next is this is a great one-step pad. This is their blueberry pad from Buff and Shine. Again, edge guard in case you have an oopsies. This is a killer pad to have in the arsenal. And then a finishing pad. Again, also from Buff and Shine. You're starting to see a trend here. This is super soft. This will help you finish down really finicky paint. So this is a cool option to have. We do want to, if we're using a polish that maybe isn't so trim friendly, we want some sort of tape, and we want to tape off our plastic trim. This is the 3M, this is specific, I'll throw the actual name up, but it's 3M Precision Masking Tape, and this is the one made in Japan. I'll link to this. I think you can get it on Obsessed Garage and on Amazon. It's just low tack, so if you do go over it with your polisher and you hit it, it's not gonna leave that really crappy residue behind, and you're gonna have to get a tar remover out after you just polished and hammer on. There is a difference here. This is high quality stuff, guys. If you're doing any paint correction, you do want a paint depth gauge. I think this is super important. This is Next Diag. I'll do a featured video on this, but you want something like this. This is their carbon edition. This thing is super sick. But yeah, so you can measure your paint around the car in using your app, and you can see the depth on this. This will just tell you again if how aggressive you can go. Now it doesn't answer the question of actually how thick is the paint or how thick is the clear coat before you burn through that. That technology doesn't exist, but what this can do is give you a baseline, right? This industry standard is saying anything below 3 mils you really don't want to touch. So that'll tell you if the car has been repainted, right? If you see an area where you're going 5, 6 mils, 4 mils, 20 mils, 15 mils, you're like, oh, that panel has probably been repainted before. So it's just good to know. Or if you get to a panel, it's like 1 mil or 2 mil, someone's hammered on that before, and I probably wouldn't touch that if I was doing paint correction. So again, lots of different options. I'll link to this below. This is a killer paint gauge. Want proper lighting for your paint correction. So I have this is the next LED light. This is a full tripod here, battery operated, or it can plug in. This is a really cool light. It gets super bright, as you can see there. It's a nice floodlight, and it works really, really well for the paint correction. I have it kind of on the side at an angle, and I can see really, really well. There's a ton of other ones here, like this one's cool, not necessarily for paint correction, but this goes kind of on the interior, or it'll go under your hood, but I hang this on the interior to really see some good cleaning. So that's also the next LED. And then again, from this company, this is their coating light. And it has this cool diffuser here. So when you are ceramic coating, you could turn this on, and it has the diffuse light. So it kind of helps you check for your high spots. It'll bend like that. It's really ergonomical, so it'll get you around much easier. Again, proper lighting is key, guys, especially if you are doing paint correction or if you're doing ceramic coatings. We're talking about, this is the Lake Country pad washer. You can choose to use one of these if you want. Some people use them for every pass. I use these as I'm paint correcting, and I just don't get them super aggressively wet, and it does clean out your pads very quickly and effectively. There are other brands out there. I like the Lake Country one. I threw the Grit Guard topper on there, and it stops the sling. There's a lot of other little products, right? You can use an ego blower to help dry off your car if you want, but totally unnecessary. You know, you can have little blowers here. This is the big boy blower. Metrovac also makes their own version. This will help you get all the little nooks and crannies, right? Like out of all the water out of the nooks and crannies. You can go as deep as you want into this. You can have steamers, you can have extractors. There are so many products out there to have, whether you have a business or you're doing it personally. You need buckets, right? Like, so there's just, again, the options are endless, guys. I just wanted to take you through a few of my favorite products. One quick shout out, make sure you have PPE, make sure you have gloves, find whatever sort of gloves that work for you that you enjoy. Make sure you have those, make sure you have some eye protection too. That is also valuable. Do you need every single product here? No, you don't, right? You could car wash, you could detail bare bones. You could get a Home Depot bucket, you could get some McGuire's Gold shampoo, you could get a Chenille wash mitt, you could get a wash pad, right? Some detail spray, Grios buffer, Porter cable buffer, right? You don't need the highest end, right? There's entry points for every budget and every sort of hobbyist there. So the point of this video is to just show you some of the favorite tools that I use. I'll link them all below. Code FD10, FD5 usually saves you some coin. But again, the point of this, just go have fun. It's detailing season, right? If you don't do this professionally, you're a home hobbyist, do this at home. Do it to your friends' cars, do it to your wife's cars, do it to your mother's car, right? I think Mother's Day is coming up, depending on when I publish this. Go detail your mom's car for her if you're lucky enough to still have her in your life, guys. So thank you so much for watching. This is part 2 of the spring kind of detailing series. If you haven't seen my first part of the video, that is where we go over all the chemicals that you'll need. This just covered all the tools. If you haven't seen that, I'll link it down below, and it'll probably be up on the screen up here, so go check that out. And guys, thank you so much for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, everyone.